All right, welcome back. What we're going to do today is set up Koya on the DGX Spark. You notice I have my hyperlink right here, and that brings me up to my Koya page. So I got my DreamBooth, my LoRA, my text inversion, some fine tuning, different utilities, and about. But anyway, right here. So if we want to sit there and train LoRAs, we can. And we'll just go through how to set this up on the DGX Spark. It's going to be a little bit different because of the ARM processor, but as you can tell, we got it up and running. And if you want to know how to do it, let's get started. Okay, so to get started, what we're going to end up doing is we'll go to the Koya homepage, and this way we can sit there and take a look at the repo. If we scroll down, we'll have the installation options, and we're going to follow the Linux instructions. I like pip, so I'm going to follow the pip instructions. And this kind of goes down and it tells you what the prerequisites is. Now, in theory, it says Python 3.10 or higher but below 3.13. Python 12 should work on the Spark, and since we have that installed on the Spark, we should be okay. I can tell you for the life of me, I cannot get it installed on 12, but I can get it installed on 11. So we're actually going to use Python 11 in our example. And, we will have to make some modifications to the requirements file when we get this installed, just because there's some things that it just won't take because of the ARM processor. So, we'll just make some modifications to it to get things up and running, and I'll show you how to do that. Rather than that, we'll just kind of follow the instructions down here, and then I'll show you some of the stuff that's different. Okay? So we'll just go ahead and exit out of this, and then to get started, we'll just go down and select our Spark, and we'll go to the terminal. And then I'll blow that up for us, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay? So first thing we're going to do is we'll type in Python-V just to show you that the default is Python 3.12. Again, I couldn't get it to work on 3.12, so I wanted to do it on 3.11. So I already have Conda installed, so I'm just going to do Conda create and then name Koya. And then for Python, I'm going to want my version to be 3.11. And hit enter, and it'll go ahead and create that for me. I'll hit yes. And then once that's done, I can just do Conda activate Koya. If I can spell. There we go. And I'm going to hit clear, go back up to the top of the screen. And then just to show you, I can do Python-V, and we're in 3.11. So, we are good to go right now. Okay? So I'll go ahead and clear that out, and then I'll cd into my Python projects, and then I'll do the git pull. All right. So we just paste the git pull in there, and we'll hit enter, and I'll go ahead and I'll clone that repo. And then I can do a change directory by doing cd and then do my Koya. And now I'm in my Koya directory. So I'm going to hit clear. And then I'm going back up to the very top right here. Okay, so there are some things that I want to kind of set up here just to kind of get us started. So I'm going to do a Conda. I'm going to install and make sure my pips install. And then there we go. So we're good there. Now what I want to do is I want to clear my screen, and I'll do a pip install, and I want to do setup tools because I want to make sure that that's installed, and I want to make sure that my will is installed just to make some compiling easier. And it looks like we're good to go there. So the next thing I want to do is I want to install the Torch Vision, and the Torch Audio. I want to make sure I have the latest version of that. So I'm going to end up copying this and pasting this over. And, and I got this in a text document just because I didn't feel like typing it all out. but it's just basically doing a pip install of the Torch Vision, Torch Audio. That's pretty much it. Make sure we're using CU 130. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that installed, and once that's done, we'll be back. Okay, so we're done. So I'm going to clear and go to the top of the screen, and then I'm going to hit LS to kind of list things out. And we have all these different files up here, and the one that we're interested in is this requirements underscore Linux text file. Okay, so what I'm going to end up doing, I'm just going to hit clear and go up to the top, and then I'm going to do a nano, and then I'm going to put the requirements underscore Linux.txt in there so we can edit it. So here we are. This first line right here, this 128, we already have 130 that we did. We don't need that. We don't need Torch because we already installed Torch. We don't need Torch Vision because we already installed that. Okay. For Xformers, just make sure I have the latest. I'm just going to take that out. I know the greater sign is going to give me the most current version anyway, but I'll just take the whole thing out. Tensor board, I want to take that out as well for the version. Just caused some issues, so I just take it out. TensorFlow, same thing, take that out just to make sure we have the latest version. And again, we're just taking the version out. Now, this runtime one right here, okay, this is a little bit special because this is the GPU, and the it doesn't work with the ARM processor. Okay, so we're going to take this out, and then that's going to default to the CPU, but it's okay because, you know, we just want to get this to work. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control X and save this out and hit yes, and then there we go. Now we're back up here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to do a chmod, and then we want to make sure that we make our file executable, and the file we want to make executable is the setup.sh file. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll just run the setup file. Let's see, setup.sh. So we'll do the /setup.sh, and then when we run this, everything should just work, and everything looks like it's working the way that it should. So we'll just go through that setup process, and then we'll be back when this is done. Okay, so everything looks good. Ran just perfectly, and it says, you know, like right here, we can run .gui.sh to start. And then if we want to expose a public server, you need to run .gu.sh.share. So I'm just going to copy this command right here because we do want to run the share version. And I'm going to hit clear just to bring this up to the top. And then just show you that I'm going to run the ./gui.sh-share. Okay. So if I hit enter, and then this is going to you know, start right up. So it's going to go through and check everything, make sure everything's good. Now we have this up here, and we notice that right here we have two links right here. So, you know, if I click on this link right here, you know, it gives me this right here, which doesn't do me any good. Okay, now I could do like mad spark, right? And if I run this, you know, it's not going to do anything, right? And you know, I did think that was going to work. The reason we did share is I can get this link right here, this grado.live link, and I can just hit this, and I'm running it locally, so it doesn't really matter. But there it is. I got my Koya installed, so I can sit there and everything looks good. So that's pretty much it. That's how you get Koya installed on the DGX Spark, so you can start training your LoRAs. Okay, I want to show you one more thing. We have these folders up here in this text file, and we click on this, nothing's happened. And the reason nothing happens is because we're on a Windows box and it's trying to go back to our Linux box, and then the Linux box is running tkinter to kind of control these folders and this text file up here. So we can't really use it in this setup. So how do we get around that? Well, we get around it by using our like local drives. So we can do like over here, like, you know, just home mad tc python project Koya examples, and I get the refresh button and it will refresh. And you know, even if I go back to these models up here and hit refresh, they're going to work. It's just that we need to make sure that we have our folders and we put our models in there, like on the Linux box. Then they'll show up here in the Windows. And we also can be, again, we can be directed by using the full path. Okay. Down here in the image folder, it's the same thing, right? We're at the root directly up here. But if I hit like home, mad tc python, you know, Koya, I can hit refresh and see it still refreshes everything, and hit drop down and it shows me what's in that folder all the way down. So we can actually like use that. So we have an image directory, we can throw our image there, and then we just make this our image and we can select our images. Same thing with the pre-trained model. You will select your pre-trained model. Okay. So to kind of get around some of this nuances, what we want to do is we want to go back to our terminal. And you notice that's what I talked about, like the TK is not reading and it's giving us this error. Again, it's not airing out the entire program. What we would need to do is to you know, go in there and change a few things, and we won't, you know, get these like nuances, right? So we'll just hit clear, and what we're going to do, instead of GUI -- share, the first thing we're going to do is we don't want it on the public, we want everything on local. So we're going to hit listen 0.0.0.0, and that way I can just put in my host name in the browser and it will work. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to do headless -- headless. Okay. And this removes some of those buttons, and we won't get those you know, warnings in the background of stuff not working. So if I run this, it's going to start up here in a second, and we're going to go all the way down and see. Now I just have this local URL list, and I'll hit that, and you're like, well, wait a minute, you said it was going to work. Well, it does. I just have to go up here to the zeros and then put mad spark, because that's the name of my spark, and I hit enter, and everything's going to pop up like it should. So now that it's popped up like it should, you notice we don't have those buttons that don't work, because we're running this in true headless, so everything here should work as intended. Okay, so that's pretty much how you set this up. Alright, thank you for watching the video, and if it helped you out, please like and subscribe and share. It really helped the channels out. And here's some other videos you can watch as well. Thank you.